YouTubers are shameless self-promoters. Lost my speech already. Right, I found it again. Okay. Toastmaster, wherever you are, there you are. Toasties, fellow toasties, guests. What if you could expand the group of people who are helping you get wherever it is you want to get, be it your personal life or your business life? Could you build a hugely popular and a massively successful social media following? Or do you think social media is the root of all evil? I'm here tonight to share with you my experiences of building a social media presence, and the presence is a YouTube channel. Someone asked me, are you on all the others? I said, no, let's just stick with YouTube. And my title is Fire, Aim, Ready. I'm going to share with you the lessons because the lessons might be relevant to you. And Fire, Aim, Ready, it's not Josh didn't make a mistake. It's not Ready, Aim, Fire. Don't worry, he didn't make a typo. Maybe that gives you a clue as to what one of the lessons might be. Now, those of us who've got kids, I'm sure you're like me. You've lain awake at night worrying about how to help them through the maze of social media. And my strategy with my kids was to say, guys, you've got to understand, in social media, there are producers and there are consumers. Be a producer. Be a producer of social media content. Don't be a consumer. And they obviously listened to me because they both work in the producer side of social media. But now I am lagging miserably behind. So I have to make a big effort to make them proud of Dad's digital efforts. Now, social media can genuinely destroy lives. Cyberbullying has been credited with people committing suicide and people harming themselves in some way. So there is a serious side to this. And I can tell you personally, creating social media content can be an extremely lonely process. You sit for hours fiddling with things. But it's weird because you feel like you're lonely in a crowd because you've got all these people out there, but you're there on your own in front of your computer. And then there are the haters. As soon as you bravely click publish, you know, there's always someone out there telling you how you got it wrong. And they aren't like you guys. They haven't been trained in the art of constructive criticism. And I think some of them are just out there to destroy. So I thought, you know, I had a serious moment of hesitation. Do I feed the content monster? Then I thought to COVID. You know, there's another way of looking at this. I was amazed, and it's actually some of my friends from Toastmasters. I talked to them after COVID, and I realized they were single, they'd been in a flat, they'd actually been on their own, locked in a room for weeks on end. I don't know if any of you had that experience. I didn't have it. I had too many people in my house, but you know, it's a serious issue. And in that case, I think social media can be credited with actually helping save lives. And I still think it's amazing how you can reach out across the world in time and space, and you can talk to anyone you like, and you can share your fears and your hopes. And it's especially poignant in a crisis to be able to do that. So I thought, well, okay, it's not such a bad idea. Let's start a YouTube channel. I've tried a few times. This is not my first effort. How did I do it? Well, I had a sneaky trick. I chose this pathway deliberately, the strategic relationships pathway. And I knew about this particular project that I'm doing right now, which required you to create a social media presence. And my strategy was to record my speeches as I went through the pathway. So I'm coming out. This is my coming out now. I had a secret agenda all the time. And I'm going to share with you some of my struggles and frustrations and some of the lessons I learned along the way, because those might help you if you want to go down the same road. So it's lights, camera, action. Maybe not. It's not quite so easy. Lights, like you guys, I can't even get flipping electricity. You know, that's part of the problem. And there are so many tools to learn. You just think you've mastered one tool, and then you find out, oh no, should you come to oh, I shouldn't swear maybe, but like, you come to the next step, and there's a whole other tool that you've got to learn, you know? And time consuming, I know you guys have sweated and agonized over writing your speeches and get frustrated about how long it takes. Well, it takes even longer because now you've got to record yourself, you've got to get it right, you've got to remember what you said. But the toughest thing of all was actually doing it regularly. You know, I've been doing this for like 6 months, a speech a month for 6 months, but I fell behind. I fell behind by about 3 speeches I hadn't recorded. We were talking about it earlier. And now I had to catch up, and I was getting anxious about this. Oh, this whole thing is a disaster. I've dropped behind by 3 speeches. And then it started raining. So that rainy day, I locked myself in a room, and I recorded all 3 speeches. I'd forgotten half of them, so I had to relearn them. And I recorded the 3 speeches that I was missing. So things started coming right. So the biggest lesson I learned is you've got to focus. You've got to focus on recording your speech and getting your speech published. Don't worry about fancy editing. Don't worry about messing around with graphics and learning extra tools. And then I found inspiration from a place I wasn't expecting it. I eventually got the courage to watch some of my own speeches back. And I don't think it's vanity. It's like, hey, I'm watching this guy. He seems to be talking about things I'm interested in. And I kind of agree with him. You know, and it was weirdly satisfying and inspiring to have company along the way. So creating your own YouTube channel, it can be frustrating and time consuming, but if you focus on it and you focus on producing and publishing, you can do it. Point the camera at your speech and pull the trigger and fire it at your speech. So I've got a goal of doing 20 speeches before I even think about who's the audience, what's the strategy, it's fire, aim, ready. Not ready, aim, fire.